Let's get started. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Council Vice President, could you please start with the Open Public Meeting Act statement?
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of June 3rd, 2020 was included in a notice sent to the newspapers of record and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and has remained continuously posted as required notices under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice has been sent to the available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk.
Can everyone please rise for the invocation and flag?
Precious God, I pray against the schemes of the devil over the meeting, and instead I pray that you rule over this meeting. We wait upon you, the Lord, knowing that you shall renew our strength. We will mount up with the wings like eagles. We shall run and not be weary. We shall walk and not faint. We declare that this meeting shall be effect and spirit-led. We declare that we will be blessed by this gathering. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start with roll call, Mickey.
Council President Piazza.
Here.
Council Vice President McVeigh.
Here.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo.
Here.
Councilman Phillipsburg.
Here.
Councilman Wyatt.
Here.
And Attorney Winter is here.
Yes.
Mayor Chipson. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start with the payment of bills. Vicki, would you mind reading the bills?
The current fund, $80,296. State and federal grants, $179. Capital fund, $1,412.09. Sewage utility fund, $1,862.50. Sewage capital fund, $21,549. Planning board trust fund, $1,482. Bridge development, $114,811.50. Section 8, $1,891.15. General trust fund, $9,895.89. For a regular bill list of $233,379.13. There was a previous bill that was tabled for All American Sports for $3,083.84. The prepaid bill list, state and federal grants, $38,686. And the agency fund, $154,166.75 for a prepaid bill list of $192,852.75. Grand total of all funds, $429,315.72.
Motion to approve the bills list.
So moved.
In a second, please.
Was there a first?
Yeah, Bobby or Councilman Parker. Is there a second? I'll second it. Discussion, Councilman Wyatt.
I have none, thank you.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo.
Just one. I didn't see it until I just read the last set that came in. It's PO 33229 to Action Tree Service. It says that this was for tree removal on Marshall Street. Isn't that a private residence?
Mayor, do you, was that
Vicky's got it.
Vicky?
The tree that was taken down was a tree that fell. So
Okay.
we are paying the removal of the tree because we had to clean the street, keep it open for the public. And that will be going on a lien for that.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. That's all I had.
Councilman Fulper,
No, I'm good, sir.
Council Vice President.
Good, sir.
Okay, the bills list as written. Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Next, on our agenda is the approval of minutes. Motion to approve Town Council January 21st, 2020 as amended. I get a second?
Second.
Discussion, Councilman Wyatt,
None. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo.
Vic, did you get that last change?
Yes, you abstained and it was only the
For the
PO
bill?
statewide, yeah.
You got it. Okay. No, I'm good.
Councilman Fulper,
No, sir.
Council Vice President.
Good, sir.
Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Town Council, February 18, 2020. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Discussion, Councilman Wyatt,
Nothing.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Nothing.
Councilman Fulper,
Nothing, sir.
Council Vice President.
I'm good, sir.
Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Town Council, March 3rd, 2020. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Discussion, Councilman Wyatt,
I have nothing.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Nothing.
Councilman Fulper,
I have nothing, sir.
Council Vice President.
Good, sir.
Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Abstain. I wasn't present.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Town Council Budget Meeting, April 9th, 2020. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Discussion, Councilman Wyatt,
I have nothing. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Nothing.
Councilman Fulton,
I have nothing, sir.
Council Vice President.
I'm good, sir.
Roll call, Vicky?
Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Next on our agenda is the public comment on agenda items only. Need to speak, please use one of the indicator buttons to get our attention here. It should pop up. And I remind you to state your name, address, and there's a 3-minute time limit. Okay. Mr. Morissette. Hello, sir. How are you? Good. Council? Do you mind commenting on that real quick?
Sure. Mr. Morissette, the attorney for Mayor Ellis, sent his invoice to the 675 Corliss Avenue address. It was rerouted to Bob Merlo last week at Fillmore. I spoke with Mr. Zader. The council will be considering the contents of Mr. Zader's letter and his invoice in executive session tonight.
Is that all, sir? Okay. Is there any other? Mr. Brisson. Mute you real quick. Sorry about that. Mr. Brisson?
So a question first. There will be an opportunity to speak about the budget at a later time in the meeting, right?
Yes,
Council
sir.
I'm gonna have to interrupt you. Mr. Brisson has to state his name and his
I'm
address.
sorry.
Sorry.
Emil Brisson, 94 Bowman Street. Okay, so the only question that I have at this point about the agenda is about the resolution 2020-116 about the infield groomer. Is this coming out of capital funds?
I believe it, Vicky, that is coming out of capital, isn't it? That was a capital purchase?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob,
Not yet?
yeah.
Yeah.
And why is this being purchased? Is it a replacement for other equipment, or is it new?
Was this requested in previous years, Bob?
That's correct.
Yeah, this will help maintain and keep the field. It'll keep, from my understanding, it keeps the man hours down, and it's specialized for keeping those fields active and usable without using as much manpower to groom them and get them ready for our town's use.
Is there a reason why it wasn't purchased in previous years then?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there in previous years.
Anybody else that can answer that?
Bob, is there a reason just the availability of funds now? I'm not sure.
No, I believe there was just delays in getting all the information that we needed.
Voting process, perhaps.
We weren't sure if we needed to go out to bid for it. So until we got all the information, DJ did a great job getting everything together this year, and we're going to get it, for going forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brisson. Is there anyone else? Oh, okay, hold on. Joe, did I get you?
Just while it's going on, the Open Meetings Act.
Joe, Joe.
I'm Joe Miner. I live at 392 South Main Street in Phillipsburg. The Open Meetings Act statement, just for the Corvette, needs sort of altering from we're posting the meeting in the bulletin board at the municipal building to we're posting the meeting announcement on the door of the municipal building because you can't get in. So you might want to do that. I was going to leave it go forever, but it seemed like a good moment to mention.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Council President, can I help Mr. Miner with that?
Absolutely.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Outstanding. I hope that your beard is as growing as well as mine.
I trimmed mine and now because it was really getting hot.
Yes.
Yeah. It may now go. I don't know.
In the best order of legality and how we move forward, even though our city municipal building is not, our town municipal building is not open to the public. Our clerk's office continues to do that because we do have employees inside. It does go out to the newspapers of record and all other media as mentioned, because I'm the one that does mention this. So I just wanted to let you know that in order to keep the integrity of the Open Public Meetings Act, we are going, even during this COVID time, we discussed this earlier with Council President and Clerk Kleiner, is what we're going to do is we're going to continue to do this because the public does have the audience of it. If you're on a Zoom call right now, and if you're on this meeting, you sure as heck can go to the newspaper of record and find Open Public Meetings Act. So we decided to keep it that way instead of altering it, and it would keep the continuity of our records forward. If that helps.
I understood that probably completely without it. It was just in the past, sometimes you have been free with the literal truth and settled for some figurative, some implications like you've decided to do on this. It just seemed like an easy thing to make it literal and put the dumb poster on the door of the building. So it was consistent with reality.
Thank you very much.
I look at it a little differently than you do. It's no big deal. I probably shouldn't even have mentioned it.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, was there anyone else? We move on. Don't see anyone else. There are no new ordinances, first or second reading. We will move on to the budget hearing. Motion to open the hearing for the 2020 budget year.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. We'll start with council discussion. Mayor Wyant,
I have nothing.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
I have nothing.
Councilman Fulper,
I have nothing, sir.
Council Vice President.
I'm good, sir.
Okay. Next, I'm good as well. We will move on to the public discussion. I would kindly ask that you use the same indicator that we used for the public comment on agenda items. And we will keep the 3 minutes. Please state your name again and address. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay,
Joe?
I'm Joe Miner again. I went to a meeting of the Recreation Committee. And they were paying $50-some thousand to basically, and I drove over to Walters Park to see what they were paying it for. Basically, they're adding one handicap swing and one teeter-totter for $50-some thousand. Then they were concerned about a black mat getting your feet too hot. They simply didn't. All they have to do is switch to white instead of black, and it doesn't do that. It seemed irresponsible in these times. So, because I know I could get these two items that say Lowe's for certainly probably installed for less than $1,000. The other item, they had $170,000 to redo some tennis courts. So I looked at the tennis courts at Walters Park. They were quite repairable, and Academ is a perfectly decent material. It's not the fancy Dan material that they were specifying, but then they're free, and we have money problems, right? We will have money problems when people won't be able to pay their taxes and all. It's coming up. It seemed like a simple clean out the weeds, fill in the cracks and put asphalt on the surface. I did notice there's an item tonight on the agenda of $500,000 for some asphalt stuff. Compare that with 172, I think it was $1,000 for tennis courts in 2 locations. I'd rather go cheap and dirty this year, and yeah, I know that it'll be need to do it again probably in 10 years, because it's not like trucks drive on this or cars drive on this. People's feet are pounding this. A cheap way will work just fine. And come on, we're trying to save money. I hope it's not been broad. I've seen some in the past things. There was a time when I questioned $3,000 per unit for air conditioning at the old site. And a council person, I asked a construction council person what they thought, because I thought it was exorbitant. And they didn't, so I figured they knew better than I did. And that ended up being so overbuilt that we ended up with that mold. Now, this isn't going to backfire on us, but I'm hoping that you combed through these expenses I'm sure that Danielle did, and I'm hoping the rest of you looked at them. And, you know, got some people with some really good sense here. You don't have to. I felt that in the past that if I had been listened to, maybe we wouldn't have had the mold. Now, this is not going to hurt anything but our budget to put in this expensive stuff. But this isn't the year for it. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joe. Would anyone like to comment on those items? Is that appropriate
Yeah,
now?
I will.
Sure.
I'll just reply. I don't think anything that he's talking about is built into this year's budget.
I think some of it was
because none of that's come before us. So I think maybe they're looking forward at some of the open space funds possibly.
I think that's non-budgetary expenses.
Right. That's not something we've addressed yet in this budget. Just so Joe's aware.
Thank you very much. I hope when you do, it does come up for payment, you might consider cheaper alternatives.
Thank you very much, Joe. Mr. Brisson, let me unmute you here. Mr. Brisson, state your name and address, please.
Emil Brisson, 94 Bowman Street. I would like to make some comments about the library budget. The library budget was reduced by $100,000 from last year. That was a 13.4% decrease. And I did send something to the council members with some comments about this. I'd like to mention a couple of them here, though. But before I start, just coincidentally, I happened to be reading a book called Our Towns, which was written by James Fallows and his wife, Deborah Fallows. And they traveled around the country to different places that are out of the way places. One of them happened to be Allentown, by the way, which was interesting. But in the book, they talk about stopping in Demopolis, Alabama. And Deborah Fallows wrote that they went to the Demopolis Public Library. My favorite institution, inside public libraries, we had learned from visiting them in nearly every town on our journey. You see the people, programs, problems, and answers that offer a genuine look into the heart and soul of a town. I thought that was a very interesting comment from their experience. There, at the April 9th meeting, the budget meeting, a number of council members mentioned that they thought that the library budget had been cut while other departments were not cut. And looking at the current budget, it looks like that continued to happen. For example, the municipal clerk's budget was increased by $88,000. I also mentioned in my email that the clerk's budget has been increased by $140,000 since 2017, which is a 65% increase in 3 years. Recreation department budget was increased by 13%, financial administration by 5%. Public works budget for streets and roads increased by $52,000, 7% increase. I hope that the council, I know nobody made a comment about it, but I hope the council will consider raising the budget for the library. It's an extremely important asset to the town, and I really think that it got short shrift this year with other departments getting additional money. I do want to thank the council for all the efforts that I know you put into, and the mayor, all the efforts that you put into reviewing the budget and making changes. And again, I just hope that you'll consider raising the budget back to what it was last year, $745,000. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brisson. I appreciate it. I saw another hand. I know I did. Was that you, Miss Lee? I thought I saw a marker go up.
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Comments? Any other comments on the budget? Wait a second, just to make sure. Sometimes the button can be difficult. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing for the 2020 budget year.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
This is to close?
Close the hearing.
Yeah. Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Now, resolution 2020-116A. Resolution providing for the adoption of the 2020 for the town of Phillipsburg. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Okay, next is our consent agenda. I'm going to read the items, the titles, so everybody can follow along. Resolution 2020-116, resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, authorizing the purchase of an infield groomer from ADI Attachments, Inc. in the amount of $27,887.25. Resolution 2020-117, a resolution of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, awarding the contract to Top Line Construction, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $503,591.98. Resolution 2020-118, resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, authorizing the award of a contract with All Image Asphalt, Inc. for paving at Walters Park, Green Street Park, and Firth Street Playground. Resolution 2020-119, a resolution of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, authorizing the expenditure of not to exceed $38,000 for prophylaxis odor control. Anything pulled from this list, Councilman Wyatt?
There's only one thing that I'd like to comment on. That's 118. There is no First Street playground. That playground is the old First School playground, corner of 8th and Marshall.
That's correct. That's the resolution reads that way.
Did I read that wrong?
No, you read it
Yeah, it's the
correctly,
First School
Councilman.
playground. My resolution says First Street playground.
Yeah, I must be using. Mine's
I
just-
just corrected
The
it.
summary did change, but the resolution did.
yeah, it should be First School. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Motion to amend resolution 2020-118 to First School playground.
I don't believe that we do need to motion for that, Council President, as the resolution has been corrected. It's just the agenda reads differently.
Okay, the agenda, it's actually written as school in the item.
It is on the amended
Okay.
agenda.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Councilwoman DeGirolamo, any items?
No. No.
Councilman Fulper,
No, sir.
Council Vice President?
So we're good on the resolution as it reads and not on the agenda how it was read, correct?
That's correct.
That's, yeah, it's like, reminds me of the Polk Park rule. I'm good.
I'm good as well. Motion to approve the consent agenda as listed.
So moved.
The second, please. Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Next, we're moving on to new business. Councilman Wyatt,
I have nothing this evening. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
No new business.
Councilman Fulper,
Nothing, sir.
Council Vice President.
Good, sir.
I do have one item to bring up. There is, I guess, talks of allowing liquor license, businesses with liquor license to have an extension of services so they can open back up for business. Now that process, I talked to the clerk today, would typically come before council for approval. Our next meeting is not until the 16th. The speculative date is the 15th. Is there a way we can have the clerk, I guess, provisionally approve those items until they can come before council so we don't hold up the opening of small businesses in our town?
Council President, if I may, I believe the law only requires the clerk. I believe it was just brought before us as a more of
Is-
an informative type deal.
Is that correct, Vicky?
I believe it is as the Secretary of the Board for the Division of ABC, that the police chief and I would get the notification. We would review the property and then we would accept it online. We brought it before council as a courtesy in the past, so that you always knew what was going on, and I can still notify everybody on what comes in. The bigger time frame of concern would be from the June 6th to the July 7th meeting, because people are going to want to have this if they are available, and it's only going to run until October of 2020, from what I understand.
Rich, you want to comment?
I did, but I think Councilman Fulper and Vicky covered what I was going to say in the time that it took for you to get to me.
Okay. If as long as it's not being held up in any way, it's all right. I have nothing else then. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no old business. Resolution 2020-100, a resolution designating handicapped parking spaces within the town of Phillipsburg. Vicky, has that list been checked and updated?
This list was the updated list, yes.
Okay. Motion to untable resolution 2020-100.
So moved.
Get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion, Councilman Wyatt,
Nothing.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Nothing.
Councilman Fulper,
Nothing.
Council Vice President.
Nothing.
Motion to approve resolution 2020-100.
Oh, you need a roll call on the on
Oh,
table?
roll call. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Now, motion to approve 2020-100.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
A roll call.
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Fulper,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Next, Mayor and Administrative reports. I'd like to welcome Mayor Tersigni to address everyone.
Thank you, Council President. It's the Mayor's report, June 3rd, 2020. Great news, as we are anticipating a TCO, a temporary certificate of occupancy, will be used for building 6 shortly on the bridge project, which will be occupied by White Claw, and jobs are coming to Phillipsburg. Our police department is back to full force, and our DPWs are back with full staff and working regular hours. All town employees have been working together to keep all our residents' needs accommodated. This has been a trying time, and the town of Phillipsburg has pulled together to make sure that the coronavirus did not bring us down. I'm excited to announce there'll be a soft opening of the park starting June 6th. We will open the pavilions and picnic areas. Please follow the 25 people gathering, social distancing rules. I will make a decision in the very short future about opening the entire apparatuses. With my full support, there will be a peaceful protest scheduled for June 6th at 12 p.m. this Saturday, starting at Chappelle Park. Protective glass is being installed this weekend to protect both the employees and public when the state gives the okay to open the municipal building, and sanitation process will be done at the same time as has been done in the past. Respectfully submitted, Todd M. Tersigni, Mayor of Phillipsburg. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. If there are no vetoes, public petitions. If you can use one of the hand signals, please state your name, address, and there will be a 3-minute time limit.
I was
Joe?
simply the mayor's action of gently opening up.
Can you speak up, Joe? I can't hear you.
And he has to announce himself.
It
again,
was
please.
not a hand raise. It was a thumbs up for the mayor's handling of the reopening cautiously.
Excellent.
I'm sorry.
Would you like the petition?
It just took me a minute to get around to pushing the right button.
Do you have anything else? State your name and address if you have anything else to add.
Oh, it was a mistake. I put the thumbs up. It wasn't a hand raise.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe. Is there anyone else? Okay. Give me 1 second. Mr. Morissette? Hello again, sir. Oh, not. That's fine. I'm not sure I have that. Thank you very much, Mr. Morissette. Attorney Wenner, do we have that information?
I know the Kelly Post Sheedy lawsuit has been settled. The other ones, I believe, are still ongoing, although I would have to check with the defense counsel assigned by the carrier. As to the amounts, I don't know that, but if you make an Oprah request, I'm sure we can get you that information.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wenner. Melissa? Melissa? Should be unmuted. All right. I'll leave you unmuted. Is there anyone else? Okay. Nicole Lee?
Hello, I'm here. I just wanted to bring to the town council's attention. Oh,
Please
I'm
state-
sorry.
Yeah, your
Yes.
last name and address, please.
No worries. My name is Nicole Lee, 985 Wilbur Avenue.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Good. I just wanted to bring to the town council's attention that there's currently a petition which has more than 1,000 signatures, about 1,043 to be exact, which I submitted to the mayor and to the superintendent of recreation earlier this week. I received a very canned response to the outreach, and I would like to have a further discussion on the matter.
Okay, what was that petition in reference to?
The repainting of the town recreation building located behind the Phillipsburg Primary School.
Okay, yeah, the any recreation work is the office of the mayor. Has control over that.
Great. Well, he's here, so I would love to hear from him.
Would you like to make any comment today, Mr. Mayor? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute him. That's my fault. Everyone. Mr. Mayor?
Okay, here, I'm here. Good evening, Miss Lee. What I basically told you is pretty much where I stand at this point. We went back to February the 4th, so I basically said the same thing in each mail sent to me. And that's all I have to say on the matter at this time. If I have any other information, I will reach out to you, or you can reach out to me at any time. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Wenner, did you have something to add?
I did not.
Okay, sorry. Is there any other public petition items? Okay. I think that clears that up. Next we'll move on to council open time. Councilman Wyatt?
I have nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman DeGirolamo? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have a few things. First, committee reports, and then just a couple comments. First is the Municipal Alliance. We have not had any meetings to date, but myself and Mary Beth Ringo have both discussed the summer program and the Walters Park for future events. to have more family-driven events. So I spoke with the recreation director about that this week. And their staff and myself have been in contact, so we will be talking more about that shortly. NPP is still very, very active. We continue to meet multiple times a week. They will be submitting to us paint colors to look at, the garnet gray and white, that will be painted in Chappelle Park. So they said we will have time to review that painting before it commences. They're looking for volunteers to assist with that cleanup and painting of Chappelle Park, much like we do in Delaware River Park. Dates and times will be distributed soon. We also discussed signage and the needs for maintaining historical significance throughout the MPP area. The revolving loan, I submitted to the CFO, the mayor, the UEZ coordinator, Councilman Wyant, since he's on UEZ, 2 proposals so that we would have that process in place we were looking for regarding the revolving loan. This was an outline from another New Jersey town. Waiting feedback so we can look into unfreezing those funds to open them up for our small businesses when they're ready to reopen. But we do need the mayor's office as well as the UEZ department to review those, as well as the CFO. And at that point, we will check with the attorney. I also submitted the CDBG fund application process for grants to the same group. So once we have those revisions or any recommendations, we can get that ball rolling as well. The Historic Commission, we are just waiting on the mayor appointments. We are going to set up a meeting. Bernie Rooney is the chairman, Audra Frank, Ken Miller, myself, and the mayor are on that commission right now. I am not a voting member, nor is the mayor, but we will be volunteering. We're going to work this week. We're meeting Monday. We're going to have some conversations because prior appointment, the people we spoke with who were appointed previously said nothing was getting done, and that's why they resigned. So we're going to try to change that. And that's kind of what I'm there for, to help drive some of that. 2 topics I do want to address. One is the Walk for Solidarity. That'll be happening Saturday. I'll be there. On the record for that peaceful walk with the community and our police department. There was a time in college I had to stand up for somebody, and to this day, it was 30 years ago, I will never forget that moment that I did have to stand up for someone, and I haven't forgotten it. And it was the day my parents told me they were very, very proud of me. So that being said, I am extremely high risk with this COVID. I will be there regardless. Because there's just no better cause I would be proud to stand with our community on. Regarding the brown and gold paint that I know has been blowing my phone up. I don't know how many people are on the call at this point. It doesn't matter, but my opinion hasn't changed, and everyone that's called me, I've told the same thing. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you my honest to God opinion, and it's how I feel. I stand behind that standardization of the buildings in town so that we can use them all year long. And I did write this down because there are a few key points I feel are very important to be communicated. There's revenue opportunities, and they're endless. If we just had better maintenance all these years and a cleaner appearance and better visibility of a recreation department as a whole. It's been fragmented for a pretty long time. And part of that is because we've had organizations come and organizations go. For years, recreation numbers have just been down. They're way down. There was a point in time you could have 4 or 5 organizations operating at one time and you had enough kids. And that's just not the case anymore. We don't have enough kids participating. It's not a Phillipsburg issue. It's an issue all over the place. I think I've always felt what's complicated that is new people moving in. Now, I'm from this area. I know where to go, who to see, who to talk to, and what to do. New people don't. They go 1 to 2 places typically. They go to the town or they go to a school district. Neither one support recreation at this point in time. So it's very hard for people not from this area who are coming in to get involved in youth sports primarily. I'm hoping that, the commitment we made will help bring recreation and strengthen it, not hurt it. people don't understand nonprofits are operating a lot of our rec programs in town. And that's very hard for them to understand because larger cities don't work this way. So to me, supporting those buildings getting painted was a commitment from the town that we're going to have better park maintenance, we're going to have better funding, and we're going to put a better focus on participation and increasing the use of our parks, not only for sports, for everything. So for the older generation, the younger generation, the teenagers, putting events like the Municipal Alliance in the parks, we just want to get more utilization. You know, to me, this wasn't a one building decision. This was a town-wide decision. That being said, I do think how this handled should have been handled differently, and I've spoken to the mayor about it. I firmly believe he should have gotten together with all the organizations, for that matter, that utilize the buildings and work together on what could have been done different. They should have had an agreement in advance. This is what we put the rec committee in power for. That's why we appointed people to speak for their organizations and bridge any of those concerns in advance. So honestly, I would have hoped that would have happened in advance. And again, we should be able to preserve our history and our longstanding traditions. Anybody that knows me knows I'm very big on both. But we also have to look ahead at what's new, make the best use of what we have, and not limit our facilities because they're permanently painted. There's no reason each building that we're looking to do can't have some kind of artistic element to it. Maybe it's seasonal, maybe it's event driven. If you want to allow people to come in and decorate the building, submit a drawing, send it into the recreation department. We could probably come up with some kind of process. That's where I stand on it. That's the message I've communicated consistently to the dozens. It's been dozens that have called. But I did just want to be clear. I do stand behind the garnet gray white decision. I think the buildings are all going to look phenomenal. I think it will help unify the town as a whole. But again, I'm not opposed to keeping your identity, your historic significance, and tradition alive on that ball field. So again, I don't know that it helps because I do stand by that garnet and gray decision in the mayor's office and recreation. But, you know, I strongly do support you being able to keep some of your identity on that field. So I hope you can work with the mayor's office to figure that out. That's all I have. Thank you. Vicki, I have this written. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Councilman Fulper.
Yes, sir. Just to clarify for Councilwoman DiGirolamo's point, I believe the Recreation Advisory Chair and Ms. Davis is in attendance this evening. I do know that approximately 4 months ago, they did discuss the painting during the meeting. And at that point in time, there were no complaints. I'm not sure whether or not it was passed back down to the recreation departments from their representatives. But just to clarify there, it was discussed. Did Ann want to elaborate?
Ms. Davis?
It was brought to the committee. Unfortunately, we are only an advisory committee. We can't tell anybody what to do. Whether or not it was taken back to the groups from there, I can't answer for that, but it was told to us at a previous.
I think she cut out.
I just wanted her to be on the record, just to clarify that the Recreation Advisory Committee, I did in fact discuss the issue. On that note, I do want to personally thank DJ Kofazi and the Department of Recreation for their hard work and dedication into putting forth a plan to rehabilitate and make improvements to each and every single recreation area in the town of Phillipsburg. Both he and the Recreation Advisory Committee have been working extremely hard to ensure our town's recreation areas are enhanced for the positive use to our community members, both young and old. So hats off to them. And regarding the Walk of Solidarity this weekend, I have been a bit under the weather, but I do also plan on being in attendance with my mask on. Other than that, Council President, I have nothing further.
Hey, thank you very much, sir. Council Vice President?
My shout outs go first and foremost to Vicky Kleiner and the entire clerk's office. Every single one of you do a fantastic job day in and day out. And as we ramp back up, and I know one of my other shout outs is next shout out is going to be to a young man recently hired who's actually helping us with our online electrical licensing and things of that nature. Is hopefully when we get back up, the ease of the office is a little bit better as we ramp back up all coming out of COVID. Second is going to be DJ Copese, our recreation superintendent, who I privately talked to in nothing more than just a resident talk, nothing official. I just really am amazed by the young man on what he does and what he has lined up for Phillipsburg, in addition to his grant writing abilities and what is forthcoming, which is actually in the oven right now, which we can't say, but moving forward, that's all going to come out. My third shout out is going to go to Ray Pat, who has the best virtual background of anybody here on this call. Raymond, congratulations! You are the award winner for June's best virtual backgrounds. My fourth shout out is going to go to, of course, to the always to the seniors until they graduated, class of 2020. May they have some type of ceremony of some sort. I've always pulled for that class, being the only class as true Phillipsburg residents never to step foot in our beloved old high school. They were the only kids that had never took a class or had stepped foot in that high school. This was supposed to be a very special moment for them, and I hope we can see through that and have something for them. Mary Jo Harris and all of the MPP people, council president, Councilwoman DiGirolamo, myself as a substitute when one of those two can't make the meetings. Mary Jo Harris and all of the MP committee is doing an amazing job for Phillipsburg and what they bring in. So if I've seen a few of these on the call here. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing what you're doing on the MPP. To our professional services such as Stan Schreck and Rich Winter, Council President and I will probably be releasing under the committee reports a lot of new business coming up for the mid-June meeting, what we have going on as far as redevelopment in our town. Stan and Rich have been lockstep with us, leading us in all legalities, and in addition to processes that go along with this and the bright future that comes with our town and our development. I want to also, Councilwoman DiGirolamo's point, the Historical Preservation Commission. I'm glad to hear that that's being revived. It's been kind of dormant for a while. And may I suggest a former councilman who was, I always thought Mr. Weinkoop was always our town historian, and he was, but now a blessed man and my former neighbor, he has passed. I like to think that former councilman and one of his best historians here in town, Randy Piazza Sr., should be included in those conversations on to adding into that preservation committee. And since the councilwoman has, she is on that and working with that, we can always have two. And I heard Randy Piazza Sr. has a very good, somebody in his family that can work very well with that historical preservation. With that, yes, I got to laugh out of you. With that said, I want everybody to be safe moving forward as we open up New Jersey and Pennsylvania, because we are right on the border and we go right across the river. Everybody just please be safe. And if you have any questions, call into our city hall. Our clerk's office will be glad to help you with anything as far as safety, COVID, and anything you need. Please reach out to your council members. We're very receptive, and to our clerk's office and anybody in the municipal building, because we have the best municipal workers, I really believe, in this state. So with that, Council President, thank you very much. I'm all finished. Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you. I'm going to make this brief because I do have to go back and get a few things I forgot. I would just like to remind everybody we're on the precipice of trying to open back up. It's going to come in slow waves, lifted restrictions. So just try to get out and help the small businesses in town, and even in the whole of the Lehigh Valley. They've had it rough the past few months, and any help you can give would be greatly appreciated. Our culture and our towns aren't what they are without those people who provide outside of those big box stores. They're the ungeneric, place to go. You see the same thing on the shelves at all the big places. It's the cool little stores and the restaurants that really define our area. So I'd like to just mention the sale of a bond note. But Bob, do you mind? I should have mentioned this earlier. Bob, do you mind just explaining that, please? The sale of our bond note.
Sure. On May 19th, we took bids on bond anticipation notes, temporary financing for 1 year. Basically, it was to finance the last two capital ordinances that we did. We got a very good rate of 1.1%, which is very good for this time of the year, for what's going on. Rates have been about 1.5% or higher. So we did very well. We had 4 bidders on our notes. The winning bid went to Bank of New York Mellon. Other bids came from Freehold Township, actually bid on our notes. Oppenheimer and Amboy Bank.
Hey, thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate it. Thanks for filling in that gap. And I did miss Melissa tried to speak earlier, and I might have kicked her out by accident. So let me take care of that. I'll allow her a minute to speak. Ms. Paulus?
Melissa Paulus, 26A Glen Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
Petitioning the council to consider removal of a PHA commissioner. Tonight's meeting was ridiculous. They went into executive session and the public got kicked out of the meeting. Obviously, they went into a separate meeting, but the public got kicked out and cannot get back into the meeting for whatever happens after they enter into open session again. I think that should be turned over to the prosecutor's office. Something was done improperly. I don't know if it was done on purpose or not, but just so that everyone is aware, the employees in the office were rice noticed. They requested to have it heard in open session. And I don't know how to be able to contact them to let them know that nobody from the public can participate in the rest of the meeting. But to get back on subject, I'm sorry, I'm very disgusted with what just happened. But I'm petitioning the council to consider removal of Commissioner Baptista. In the past year, she has missed over 6 meetings. And I have also questioned the commissioners about the lack of approving minutes. They're not even on the agenda. I asked tonight, I did not get an answer. I also questioned about the policy procedures and enforcement. I got no answers. So for that, I'm asking you to consider the removal of Ann Baptista for not upholding her oath of office and her duties that she swore to, as well as on a different subject, the administrative assistant job that was vetoed. I just want to bring out a point that you should take notice of. I'm not sure exactly how many years Vicky has left, your clerk, I should say. She's most likely going to consider retiring soon. And take a look at Alpha. Alpha has no registered municipal clerk. They have 22 residents and they have 4 people in the clerk's office. A registered municipal clerk is very difficult to get. And I think it would be beneficial for the town to take a look at the possibility of replacing Vicky when she does decide to retire. And you should reconsider that position. I should have spoke up before and I didn't. The other thing I want to bring up is about smoking by employees in vehicles and on your property. Any other municipality does not allow smoking. I know of one employee, and I can supply pictures, that smokes in the vehicles. And I'm sure that your insurance company is not going to allow that. So I had previously spoken to the mayor about a policy and enforcement of that policy if you don't have one. And I'm probably out of time, aren't I?
Close, yeah.
So again,
34 seconds, yes.
please consider the removal of Commissioner Baptista for not attending the meetings on a regular basis. I've been trying to get information from them. I've turned over evidence to them that supposedly is going to be forwarded to the Warren County Prosecutor's Office. That housing authority is nothing but dysfunctional and should be investigated. And as a matter of fact, they are being investigated. I was contacted by an investigator or a detective. So, okay, thank
Okay,
you.
we'll take that under advisement. Thank you very much. Okay. There are no new motions. We need to go into an executive session. Motion to pass resolution 2020-119. Enter executive session. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. And
Second.
second. Rich.
Yes, Council President, the three matters which will be discussed, two are regarding litigation. The third is regarding property, real property sale in the town of Phillipsburg. No
Okay,
action will be taken in executive session, and we should only be in there for a total amount of time of, I think, 15 minutes or so.
I'm gonna set up the breakout room for all those who need to be there. Give me 1 second, okay? Let me unmute some people here. Okay, motion to motion to return from executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Vicky?
Councilman Wyatt,
Yes.
Councilman Philipsburg, oh, he left. Councilwoman DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council Vice President McVeigh,
Yes.
Council President Piazza.
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.